Hey you mob. So let's talk about what we're going to talk about today. I thought it'd be quite interesting to have a chat about lefties, southpaws, cackhanders. Yeah, that is the left. Left-handed people. I'm one. First fact, 1 in 10 people are left-handed. Only 10% of the population. And that is right across the board, country, nationwide, internationally, makes no difference. 10% of all people are left-handed. Interesting fact, 10% of animals are also left-handed, left-pawed, in that they favour left over right. So I've got some facts here, so we'll go through them and have a chat about them. See if you agree. Brain and hemisphere dominance. Left-handers tend to have more activity in the right hemisphere of the brain, which is linked to creativity, imagination, and spatial awareness. My spatial awareness is terrible. I can't walk in a straight line. I can't drive in a straight line. I certainly can't drive backwards. So that's a big yeah. But creativity and imagination, I write books, I'm an author, maybe. We have more symmetrical brains, apparently. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? Studies show left-handers often have a more balanced use of both brain hemispheres. I suppose that's because we're compensating all the time. Because we live in a right-handed world and everything is geared towards right-handed people, we have to compensate so much of the time. So yeah, it makes sense that we use both hemispheres of our brain more than right-handed people because they don't have to as much. Genes play a role. Left-handedness has a genetic component. If one or both parents are left-handed, their child is more likely to be left-handed too. Okay, so I do agree with this, but I have done a bit of research on being a cackhander. And you can go generations of right-handed people, 5, 6, 7, 10 generations, and then suddenly a cackhander will pop up out of nowhere. So I think genes do play a role, but not a dramatic one. Even in families, even in twins, you can have, in fact, often in twins, with the split hemisphere twins, you often get the mirror image thing where one is right-handed and one is left-handed. So that was a bad example, but there you go. Prenatal development. Hand preference appears before birth. Fetuses have been observed sucking their left thumb in the womb. Presumably, right-handed fetuses also suck their right-handed thumbs in the womb. So yeah, some of the research I did said that your hand preference does develop quite early on. More prevalence to left-handed people in a set of twins, apparently. Left-handedness is relatively rare. Only 10% of the world's population is left-handed. Get me. Higher adaptability. Many left-handers develop greater ambidexterity because they live in a world designed for right-handers. Ain't that the truth? Put a pair of scissors in my hand and just watch how hopeless I am with them. I am lethal with a pair of scissors in my hand. Chopping vegetables. Mark takes the knife off me. I do this. I've learnt to do this so that I'm not chopping my fingers off. And the knife's the wrong way around, and my hands are the wrong way around, and the vegetables are bouncing all over the place. And if he peels potatoes, he can peel a pack of potatoes in the time it'd take me to do 2, and the potatoes would end up like that. I'm hopeless. Possible health differences. Some research links left-handedness with slightly higher risks for certain conditions like allergies or insomnia, though evidence is mixed. I suffer quite severely with allergies, though my allergies are linked to Rhesus disease. I have Rhesus disease. I get the itchy scratchies for no apparent reason quite often. And I am a chronic insomniac. Now, I've always put that down to being a writer. However, I've found over the last 6 months, if I've got something happening the next day, the following day, I don't sleep. It can be something as minor as going back to work after a half term or a Christmas break or something. Don't sleep a wink the night before. We're going away on Friday. We're going to a Northern Soul convention in Blackpool Tower to dance on the Tower Ballroom. I won't sleep on the Thursday before we go. Anyway, better divergent thinkers, left-handers, are overrepresented among artists, musicians and writers, possibly due to creative and lateral thinking strengths. Yeah, I write books. Guess that makes sense. However, Mark is a musician and he's right-handed, so doesn't always follow. Both of my boys are right-handed. I think all of my partners have been right-handed. I don't think I've ever had a left-handed partner. So yeah, I can go with the creativity thing. Stress response. Some studies suggest left-handers may process emotions differently and could have a higher startle response. Again, I'm terrible. Mark has to shout when he comes in the house so that he doesn't creep up behind me. My startle response, even in my own home, is far more pronounced than most people's. I'm not nervy. I'm not a nervous person at all. But something happening suddenly behind me, my startle response is huge. It's enormous. So yeah, I can go with that as well. Sleep patterns. Left-handers are more likely to experience sleep paralysis, though it's still uncommon. I don't have sleep paralysis as such. I am a chronic insomniac. I rarely sleep more than 4 hours a night. And I have got the thing where sometimes I will have a dream and bring my dream back with me for a split second. I'll wake up and somebody will be standing beside my bed that I've dragged out of my dream. And it's literally a split second, bang, gone. The other thing is, before I was writing A Question of Sanity, I had a nightmare. I was driving down Fountain Street in Ulverston, where I used to live, past my old house, and I was in a Ford pickup. I've never owned a Ford pickup, but Toyota pickup. Actually, it was a Toyota pickup, a blue one, by the by. I'm driving down the road and I'm on a flatbed pickup, and suddenly a lady with a blonde bob reached round and was trying to stab me through the window. I woke up in a high state of agitation, sat up in bed, panicking, hyperventilating. Thank God that's over. It was a nightmare. You're okay, calm down, go back to sleep. And I had a tall mirror to the side of my bed. And this lady broke through my mirror with her knife and came to the bed stabbing me. I hadn't woken up. I was still asleep and I dreamt that I'd woken up. So I don't know if that's a form of sleep paralysis. Maybe it is. Sinister origins. I like this one. The word left in Latin is sinister, which contributed to negative cultural associations for centuries. The Salem witch trials and the Pendle witches were both linked to left-handed women. Through centuries, left-handed women were persecuted as being witches, as being evil, as being demon summoners, and we're a nasty bunch apparently. Changing attitudes. In many societies, left-handedness was once corrected or punished, especially in schools. I was sent to the most awful boarding school. I hated it. It was the worst 5 years of my life. And they tried to force me to write with my right hand. The result was that I wrote from right to left. Rather than writing left to right, I wrote from right to left, and they gave up with me eventually. I was in every remedial class going. I was a slow child. I wasn't a quick learner. Didn't do well at school. Came out with, well, I did some exams, I think, but I didn't get any wonderful results. C's and D's. The only thing I did well in, or reasonably well, was English with a B+, I think. Modern acceptance. Today, left-handedness is widely accepted and even celebrated. Whoopie-doo! Congratulations, all you left-handers. Historic figures. Famous left-handers include Hitler, Leonardo da Vinci, Marie Curie, Barack Obama, Nikola Tesla, and Oprah Winfrey. Several British royals, including Prince William and King Charles III, are left-handed. Everyday life. Tools and products. Left-handers often struggle with right-handed tools. Tell me about it. Scissors, desks, cameras, but left-handed versions now exist for most things. I don't bother with them. Mouse on the left. People go mad with me. If ever I go into an office environment, including my current office, everybody has to turn the mouse over, because the first thing I do is put the phone and the mouse on the left-hand side so that I've got access to a phone and access to my mouse. Writing challenges. Left-handers often smudge ink when writing left to right, leading to many to develop unique hand angles. I do. As I'm writing, my hand's there and it comes along behind me, and I have to raise my hand to avoid smudging. Sports advantages. In one-on-one sports like tennis, boxing or baseball, left-handers often had an edge because opponents are less accustomed to their movements. Left-handed boxers, huge advantage. People are watching them, their opponents are watching them all the time, you know, jabbing with the left, and they think, well, if they can do that with the left, I dread to think what they're going to do with the right. Puts them on the back foot. Mirror advantages. Left-handers may find it easier to adapt to mirrored or reversed visual information. Not sure about that. No proof from me. Not a chance. Longevity. The old idea that left-handers die younger has been debunked. There's no significant difference in lifespan today. Well, I'm very glad to hear that. I'm 62 now. I don't want to be dying 10 years younger than those righties. It's not fair. I'm a Southpaw. I'm quite happy being that. I don't mind being a cackhander. I quite enjoy it. And that's my discussion on left-handedness. Come and talk to me. Are you left-handed? Are you right-handed? What do you think of us lefties? Are we at a disadvantage? Are we at an advantage? Are you left-handed and creative? That seems to be the theory. Are you left-handed and a witch? Come and talk to me. Nice chat.